Magistrate reporting.
Hello and welcome to another God is a Geek preview chat. I'm Chris Hyde and I'm joined by the delectable Adam Cook. How are you, sir?
Don't like that. Don't like that from the start, but I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
You don't like delectable?
It's not the word I would choose. But listen, it's fine. Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
Just generally awesome. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here today to talk about Total War Warhammer 3.
Yeah.
And you've been looking at this in an early preview build of this game.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to hear what you think about it. Because I've played some Total War games before. Played Total War 3 Kingdoms, Total War Saga Troy. Interesting to know your thoughts from a preview sense of this one. So fire away, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've played turn-based games before. I've played strategy games before. I've played real-time tactics games before. I'm struggling to think if I've played one that's kind of all of them, if that makes sense. Like, the person who will be reviewing this when we get to the stage where the full game is available to review is not going to be me. But the person who we have lined up for it was unavailable for this preview event because essentially I had a whole day with this game. Blimey, there's a lot going on. It's one of those where it's difficult to know where to start. I kind of want to get across how it feels as a newcomer, but I also totally appreciate that there will be people that this is the third one. This is the third of a trilogy of games that will want to know what's new. So I should say, like, right up front, I got to play it as two of the... I mean, do we call them heroes? I don't know. The Miao Ying from the Grand Cathay and the Daemon Prince. It's one of those where it's spelt Daemon, but it's Demon. And he's from the Daemons of Chaos. What I would say is that I am so impressed with this game as a package, if that makes sense, what it actually contains. Because, frankly, if I were going to play this, just for funsies, I would probably play it in a way that would make big-time fans quite angry, because the game is so large, and again, impressively so, that you've got the kind of real-time strategy elements, but then you've also got the battle system it's like a game within a game. I don't know if the ones you've played are like this. You can actually skip the actual battles now, and what they've added for this one, I believe, is that there is now a kind of outcome. Before you bang into someone like in an almost traditional RPG sense, you've intended to, or they've intended to do it to you, and it tells you what the outcome's going to be. Pretty much, will it be like a massive victory, or will it be a slight victory, or will you lose? So by adding that, they've kind of enabled it for people like me to be able to go, I don't actually want to play the battles out, as it were. And I think based on what I've played, I would play it that way, because I'll be honest with you, preview build, it's not the final game, obviously. The load times from the kind of, I guess, overworld gameplay actual battles is fairly significant, I felt. And I didn't feel like you were loading in this... I mean, it looks nice, don't get me wrong. The game looks nice. You're seeing it in the video as we're talking. The game looks nice. But I didn't feel it was loading in this... this like blockbuster kind of AAA... I mean, it is a AAA, I guess, in the genre. But it didn't look... It didn't look like it warranted the length of the loading times, but I'm gonna say that I think that's a preview build thing. I think that because there were characters locked off I could see, but I couldn't play. So there's definitely something to this build that is not final 100%. So I had a go at the combat, and I think the combat is a lot of what's been changed. I think is stuff you don't see as much as is under the hood mechanics of the machinations of what's going on when you're playing. Obviously, there's lots of items or elements on screen, lots of characters fighting. I'll be honest, like that wasn't for me. I played those sections and I was like, oh, I'm glad they've included this can be skipped, because it's not for me. I'm sorry if you're angry about that. That's what the comment section on YouTube's for. I'll say, so of the two characters I got to play as, the newly revealed Daemon Prince and Miao Ying, I enjoyed the Daemon Prince more. I suspect Miao Ying, who I'm probably pronouncing wrong, may be the one that like long-term fans maybe gravitate towards more. Her gameplay, they've all, I guess, every character's got this unique spin where you've got the core, but then there's a thing that's specific to them. Miao Ying had these like the winds of change. So while everything's going on, and I again, if you're just watching this out of curiosity and you've never played one of these, the amount of I would guess computations and things that are happening while your turns take place. You know, this game has diplomacy in it. It's like they threw a civilization game in as well as RTS and everything else. It is so enormously complex. And all of this is happening under the hood often. You know, you're getting messages, but most of it's just kind of happening in the background. You know, the diplomacy you get to take part in, all that sort of stuff, making deals, trade deals, battles. People who've played these games know all of this already. You got Yin and Yang now with the Grand Cathay, which is a balancing act to, again, it's trying to keep it is literally balancing to make you the most powerful you can be, as it were. Like, keeping the balance means you are more effective in, like, and that's such a reductive thing because it's like more effective in like 20 different ways. Like, you know, all these stats will be changed based on it. And there's like a magical winds of change with their gameplay, which you get to change the winds of the magical winds, and it's just I don't know if it's coming across, Christopher, but like there's an awful lot going on in this game.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, what I would say to, I guess, obviously you're a newcomer to this particular series.
Yes.
Total War generally, from my experience, is always, it's incredibly granular and detailed. It's actually impressive how much content there actually is 100%, to devour. 100%.
Like, I can't believe this game exists in some ways.
No,
like, it is so impressive in that respect.
I don't want to use the term time sink because that sounds like, you know, it's just kind of wasting time. And you
could absolutely play this game for the rest of your days, I suspect.
Yeah. And just thinking, you know, like I've obviously played, because I've played Three Kingdoms, and with all the expansions in that as well, and you know, there's very similar things. Obviously, there's the battles, there's the overworld, there's the diplomacy and the trades and everything else. And yeah, if you try and do everything all of the time, you can definitely get a lot of enjoyment out of various different facets of it. But it is something you have to either be invested in or be prepared to get invested in.
I mean, it's kind of terrifying. Like, I will say, another thing again that was hugely impressive is, like, so after I played that campaign, not all of it, obviously, but, you know, played it, I thought I better have a go at the Daemon Prince because this is the new one. This is the one they've just well, at the time of recording this, they're about to reveal it. And that one I found quite different. Now, whether it was the knowledge I'd gained from the previous play, but with the Daemon Prince, you are, like, each time you do something progression-wise, you are kind of pledging your allegiances to specific god types, and in doing so, you are filling meters up, and you get cosmetics that change how your actual Daemon Prince looks, but also changes how his stats are. You know, you may get plus 10 strength, but minus 1 whatever. You know what I mean? That RPG stuff.
Yeah.
And that felt not so much less complicated, but more friendly to someone who wasn't brand new. And I'm not, because I don't want people to go away thinking, oh, well, the new characters, they've just thrown it in there for the noobs. I don't think that's the case, because there's, again, so much statistic-wise that it is impossible to say that's true. But I did feel it almost more RPG-like, because I was building my character. Now, you do build your character and you do build your army with, you know, all of them. But one of the things that impressed me is that these two characters, and again, preview sense didn't see the whole of everything that was on offer, take place on different parts of a much larger map. And I never got to see if the two, these two, for example, would collide, so to speak. There, you know, would you, as the Daemon Prince, because the map was so big and there was so much to do. And like a full working day was not enough, if that makes sense. It was for me. I'm not being funny. It was probably enough for me, but it wasn't enough to know, even really, if you could, you know, collide with your other
Yeah.
characters? I suspect so. I don't know. The map's huge. There's lots to do.
Whether those two do, but I bet others do.
Others do, yeah. Maybe
It-
ones that make more sort of sense canonically. Like the story, there is a story, and the cutscenes
Yeah.
are lovely. I don't want to get too much into it because, apart from anything, it's a trilogy, and I just don't want to spoil too many things because it doesn't seem necessary. Because it is number 3, you know, it's a continuation or the third part.
Well, I will just say, just building
yeah.
on one of the points you just said about like one thing I've always found with the Total War games is, you know, you say about the different characters and how they feel different. I always find that is very true.
Yes.
Like when they have different characters, it's not just it's different name and a different face. There's literally different ways of playing and different ways of winning and different ways of thinking about how to play essentially the same game but in a different way because of the character that you are, and I think that's very clever.
Yes.
Because they seem to keep coming up with ways that make them feel different. So you could start a campaign as a particular like hero and clan or whatever, and play the game and experience it, and then you play it as someone else, and it's not the same experience. It's not just a different part of the map; it's a different set of stats or things you've got to juggle to win.
I'm very impressed by it as an outsider, I guess. I'm very impressed by it. What I would say is if you've come to this like all excited about, you know, well, you mean hopefully you've seen some new gameplay. Well, you will have seen some new gameplay. But what I would say is, like, you know, I'm sorry I'm not the guy to go into the granular detail that will come with the review. I will absolutely try and answer any questions people would have, but I very much doubt I'm going to be able to help like the super hardcore fans that are, you know, desperate for this. I will just say I'm very impressed with it. I mean, so, you know, just to I guess balance. Some of the voice acting I wasn't too gone on. Like the main sort of seer character, really well done. The rest of them does fall afoul a little bit of that. They're just sort of random shouting in the battles, and you're hearing the same comments a bit. And like I say, there was a few frame rate issues and a few loading issues, but I think again it's not out well for another month, really. Go read. There's more formal thoughts on the website. This is, you know, just a chance to show you some gameplay and have a bit of a chat about it, really. But you know, I'm look, I'm not going to play this when it comes out. Okay, it's not my bag. But I will say the fact that it would impress me enough to be able to say like, wow, it's borderline impenetrable. But I found like the Daemon Prince was less so, and you know, in the final game there will be more of a tutorial, I suspect. And I just, I'm very impressed with it, Christopher. Very impressed.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Adam, for talking us through that. And if you enjoyed this preview chat, then give us a big old thumbs up on the video. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already, to catch more videos that we do in the future. Don't just do previews, also do reviews and podcasts and various other bits and bobs for your entertainment. Also, actually hit us up on godisageek.com for all the latest news, reviews, and previews there as well. And you can also find us on Twitter as well. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you're looking forward to this game. And obviously, if you've got any really tough questions for Adam, then definitely ping them his way as well. And he'll do his best to answer them. But all that's left to say is thank you, Adam.
Cheers.
And we will speak to you whenever you choose to listen. Goodbye for now.
From here, they ply trade across the water with allies on distant shores. Capture it, and you may do the same.